In 1980, Dorothy Jane Scott, 32, began receiving phone calls to her home in Stanton, California, a small town outside of Anaheim. The caller would make menacing comments. "When I get you alone, I will cut you up into bits so no one will ever find you," threatened the disembodied voice on the other end of the phone. The calls went on for months. During some of the calls, the mystery person claimed his love for Dorothy. The rest of them were dark threats of violence. Whoever it was claimed to be watching her, a fact she ignored until one day he told her he had a gift for her outside. She checked her car, and a single dead rose sat in the driver's seat of her car. Terrified, Dorothy took up self-defense classes and began making sure someone was by her side at all times. A few months later, Dorothy went to a meeting at work. One of her coworkers, Conrad Bostrom, appeared to be very sick. Dorothy and another coworker, a lady named Pam Head, took Conrad to the hospital to be treated. On the way, she stopped to let her parents know. They were watching her young son, and she wanted to tell them she would be late. She changed from her black scarf to a red one. At the hospital, they learned Conrad had been bitten by a black widow spider. He was treated and discharged. Dorothy went to the parking garage to retrieve her car so they could leave. But after she didn't return within 10 to 15 minutes, Conrad and Pam raced to the parking garage. They got there just in time to see Dorothy's car speeding away. They called a reporter. Missing after hours went by and nobody saw her. The next morning, they found her car 10 minutes away, burnt to the ground. 2 weeks after her disappearance, her mother received a call. "Are you related to Dorothy Scott?" He first asked Dorothy's mother. "All I've got her." The caller even knew about her changing the color of the scarf she was wearing. The calls continued for months. Every Wednesday, the caller would contact Dorothy's mom, telling her she was his girlfriend and she cheated on him. But Dorothy never had a boyfriend. When the newspaper published the story, the mystery voice called them too, claiming he killed Dorothy. He gave them details only the killer would know. The calls continued for 4 long years, until Dorothy's dad answered one day and they hung up. Did they know her dad? It had been in April 1984. 4 months later, in August of 1984, Dorothy's body was discovered in a burned-up construction site. They found her bones, and strangely, the bones of a dog. Her ring and watch were in the pile, and her watch was stopped on the day of her disappearance, around the same time she was taken. The calls continued every Wednesday until Dorothy's father died in 1994. Her mother passed in 2002 and would receive calls randomly through the years. Our murder remains unsolved.